Saint Francis de Sales is known as the gentleman saint for his extraordinary patience, humility, cheerful personality, and gentle approach to faith. He was a French bishop and doctor of the Church. He focused on bringing people back to the Catholic Church through kindness rather than severity during the Counter-Reformation. Saint Francis de Sales was a French noble, bishop, and doctor of the Church known for his gentle approach, patience, and spiritual writing, particularly in leading people to devout life. He was born in France in 1567, was the eldest of 13 children. He studied law and theology at the University of Paris and University of Padua. He developed a great devotion to Our Lady when faced with spiritual crisis. Despite his father's wishes for a legal and political career, he persisted in his desire for the priesthood and eventually gained his father's consent. He died on the 28th of December 1662 and canonized as a saint in 1665. Saint Francis de Sales was declared a Doctor of the Church in 1877, and Pope Paul VI labelled him the Doctor of Divine Love, because his teachings were based on the understanding that God is love. His spirituality focused on God's profound, personal love for humanity and advocated for holiness through kindness, gentleness, and daily devotion rather than harsh austerity. He taught that true spiritual life is accessible to everyone in any vocation, emphasizing that love for God and neighbour should drive all actions. He was also given the title of Saint of Kindness, a title highlighting his approach to ministry during the Reformation. The key reasons for his appointment as a Doctor of the Church included his universal call to holiness, arguing that devout life was possible for lay people, such as soldiers, married people in the world. His famous quotation about the lay spirituality is that, "Be who you are and be that well to give glory to your Creator." He argued that holiness and devoted life are not reserved for monks or people who live in a monastery. His theology of the heart is very famous. He focused on the heart of Jesus as a symbol of divine love and encouraged followers to have their own hearts written with the names of others to promote love. His spirituality focused on practical love in daily life, advising that if one wants to love God, they should simply love Him more and more through small, loving acts. Through his gentle approach, called the gentle evangelization, he converted tens of thousands of Calvinists in the Chablais region of France by using persuasive, gentle, and loving preaching rather than harsh condemnation. One of the reasons to honour him with the Doctor of the Church was that he was committed to his pastoral care and his evangelization work. He is also called the Doctor of Charity. It is spiritually enriching to meditate on some of his famous quotations, such as, "Faith is like a bright ray of sunlight. It enables us to see God in all things, as well as all things in God. Nothing is so strong as gentleness. Nothing is so gentle as real strength. You learn to speak by speaking, to study by studying, to run by running, to work by working, and just so you learn to love by loving. All those who think to learn in any other way deceive themselves. We all have a vocation. We believe that God has placed us in this life to fill a special need that no one else can accomplish. Saint Don Bosco, known as the Friend of Youth, was deeply influenced by Saint Francis de Sales, and the Salesian spirituality is based on the teachings of this saint particularly. Gentleness and kindness. Don Bosco adopted the gentle charity of Francis de Sales, emphasizing that in dealing with young people, charity is patient, and everything should be done out of love, nothing by constraint. Don Bosco believed holiness was not for the few, but a gift from God available to all, achievable through daily, cheerful, and faithful service, often summarized as serving the Lord in holy joy. The core of Don Bosco's educational method, which focuses on guiding young people through kindness and reason rather than punishment, is directly rooted in the Salesian virtue of meekness. Don Bosco adopted a joyful and optimistic worldview, believing in the goodness of each person and focusing on their potential rather than focusing on the limitations or sins of the times. Don Bosco formally acknowledged this influence by naming his congregation the Society of St. Francis de Sales, Salesians, in 1854. He is the founder of the Order of the Visitation of Holy Mary, and is highly regarded for his classic work, Introduction to the Devout Life. Let us seek the intercession of St. Francis de Sales to continue our evangelization work in a loving and gentle way in the complex world culture. Amen.